People with street smarts. What is your most street tip? Ignore randoms who try to stop to you or talk to you. Face forward, power walk. Don't buy blow from people you don't know. Or XTC from a guy named Doug at a gas station. No matter how friendly he is, you might end up with flurries. If you're walking around a big city and someone walks up to you and asks you your name or is anyway friendly, they're about to try to con you. I was just in NYC where the CD scam is prevalent. Con artist asks you your name, your name on their hip hop CD, and when you accept the CD they intimidate you to pay for the CD. Just keep walking. Don't even smile at them. I've lived in or worked in San Francisco for almost 30 years and there is never a reason to react to someone addressing you at random on the street. The 1,000-yard stare, also known as city blinders, is a great skill to have. Trust your gut. You see people acting normally your whole life. You know what it looks like. If you see something that makes you uncomfortable, there's a reason, even if you don't know what it is yet. Second this poster. Always trust your gut. Walk with purpose like you know where you are going, and I never smile. If you're in an argument with somebody and they get in your face and then look away, there's a good chance they're about to try and knock your head off. As a prison guard, this is good, reliable advice. You don't owe anybody anything, including conversation. People who want to take advantage of you will usually start by initiating unsolicited conversation. I'm yet to master the art of politely telling someone to frick off. I don't know if this is street smarts, but so many people lack situational awareness. By that I mean they are not being fully aware of their surroundings, which has been made even worse with phones and headphones. If you sense anything dodgy, trust that instinct and do something about it. I'd rather cross the street and look paranoid than get mugged, or even just run. This group of guys were following close behind me when I was walking home from the pub alone. They could have just been walking the same way, but as soon as I hit a corner I sprinted 100 meters or so and didn't see them again. I don't care how strong you are losing 99% of the time versus 3 people. This plus minding your own freaking business can do wonders. Keep an eye out but don't stare if something feels funny. Just confidently and calmly remove yourself from the situation. When visiting a new city, pick a landmark that you can see from anywhere. Maybe it's a big tower in the downtown core. Maybe it's a mountain in the distance. Or the city is on the shore of a lake. Or there's a river or highway that cuts through in a clear and logical way. Great. That's your orientation now. Wherever you go, you're not lost. You have that landmark. Maybe it's further away, maybe it's closer, but if you know what direction the landmark is, you can't really get turned around. Now take it a step further. As you walk around, pick a landmark in the neighborhood you are moving through. Maybe it's a corner store, or a park, or a prominent intersection, or a house with a funny roof. It doesn't matter. Between the big city landmark and the smaller neighborhood landmark, you're basically triangulated to a pretty narrowly defined area. You can explore with a lot of confidence just by keeping your bearings on which direction your 2 landmarks are, and if you're moving closer or further away from them. I learned this from Minecraft cause of my laziness in making a dang map. Look like you know where you are going even when you don't. If you have any misgivings about a particular street or area, go with it. If you do have to walk through an area where you are being scoped, acting like you are insane and barely keeping it in makes you not worth the trouble. Don't worry about being polite if approached, but don't be an butthole. If an area smells like pee, no one gives a frick what happens there. Never fall for the I need $20 for sick kid locksmith medicine tow truck scam. Never pull out your money or wallet to check it. Even if you put it back, they will know where it is. If you get bumped and feel for your wallet, it's also a cue for a pickpocket. I find using your cell phone to look back is a great method as well. Situational awareness is a must, and that means never let yourself get in a situation you know you'll lose. Meaning, don't go places where the public eye will lose you. It is safer to have multiple witnesses that may help you if anything were to happen. 90% of the time, if you don't start trouble, you don't get trouble. That said, the 10% is what you need to focus on. Don't flash money or valuables around in public. Stay alert. If someone tries to start crap, walk away fast if you can. If forced to fight, fight dirty and then get away as soon as you can. Try not to walk around in deserted areas alone. especially at night. Don't hail taxis in the street. Watch your drinks at the bar and keep your wits about you. Give people a nod, like giving a friendly what's up, and keep minding your own business. I usually just say what's up if I'm in a sketchy area. I grew up in one. The nod and tone of voice being friendly usually lets people know you are a concern. I also worked in the hood, filled with Mexican gangs. I was stocking shelves and said what's up to this giant butt dude with face tats and a big 13 tattooed on his head. I said what's up, bro, and just kept minding my own business. We ending up talking for a good few minutes about what chips were best. But it's the nod and tone, emo, that goes a long way, especially if you're in someone's territory. It's a way of showing respect and recognizing those around you. The head nod doesn't always work abroad. Source: the most pained smile I have ever received on a bus in Germany. If you're homeless, don't let anyone know where you sleep or where you stash your stuff. It's okay to meet up with a buddy and spend the day with them. And it's okay to trust the staff at the shelter. But from the first day to the last day you're homeless, don't let anyone find your stash of stuff. Once your stash is found, other homeless folks will usually clean it out, or homed people will usually throw your stuff away. Similarly, don't let anyone know where you sleep, and try not to bother anybody. If you bother people, or you consistently sleep in your car somewhere, eventually someone will notice, and that's always a recipe for trouble. Keep safe, keep secret, and keep out of sight. Act like you live wherever you are, like you know the place, like you know exactly where you are going. I use a wheelchair and do this whenever I travel. I figure out where I am going before I venture out. If I am lost, I duck into a store or restaurant in order to look at my phone or ask directions. Be focused on the direction you are going and don't act like a freaking tourist. Ironically, I feel much safer by myself when I can act like this instead of when I'm traveling with some clueless friend or relative who has to stop for pictures every 20 feet. I rarely, if ever, get approached for money or anything when I am by myself, but throw in my dumb Aunt Susan and we're brushing off weirdos all day long. Have an angry conversation with yourself. Nobody will approach you. IDK if this counts because it's cross-culture, but I've been to and been lost in a lot of different countries, including several where they do not advise women to go out alone, for non-religious reasons. I'm not messing with those countries. My experience is that if you keep your head up and your face neutral, meet people's eyes if they're looking at you and nod politely to acknowledge you see and respect their space, they'll leave you alone. That said, if you start seeing hostile faces instead of disinterested ones, proceed calmly in a different direction. If it's not in a public space and you're spoken to by a complete stranger, don't stop. Keep walking as if you never heard them and don't look back. It's never going to be worth it to stop and talk. If someone asks you, "Can I ask you a question?" reply with, "Sorry, I'm in a hurry," or bluntly number if someone needs something. They will ask you directly. That is, "Where is the nearest gas station? Can you spare $1?" Nothing good comes from random conversation on the street. That works, but not in France. Try starting a conversation with a question and you'll get, at best, ignored and at worst, insulted. Always be aware of your surroundings, what and who's ahead and behind you, and trust your gut no matter how dumb it may seem. If someone's trying to hassle you, give quick, short answers as you're walking. Don't pull your phone out. Don't let them see your wallet. Don't turn your body. Ignoring them has risk if they're a crazy person who will give chase until you acknowledge them. Stopping is always a mistake. Short answers as you're walking. And if you act like the crazy person, they tend to leave you alone. So, meow and hiss and talk to yourself. You won't be bothered. Women. Don't be afraid of being impolite if you feel threatened. Don't think, "Oh no, I might hurt his feelings," or "Well, that one time I was told I overreact, so maybe this is another one of those times." If someone I suppose they will realize that the situation was misinterpreted. If they're a rapist murderer, they will most likely make a big deal about how they're not going to hurt you. Don't be afraid to make a scene if you're afraid. Don't be afraid of being impolite if you feel threatened. The only issue with that is how sometimes we have to be polite to get away. When cornered, you don't know if being rude is gonna trigger him to get violent. If you can get away, by all means, be rude. But always assess the situation and do what makes you feel safe. Always be aware of your surroundings and what's going on, especially in an unfamiliar area. Every so often just do a scan of your environment. A good example is when I was walking in an unfamiliar neighborhood in San Francisco. I'm originally from about 30 minutes south of SF, and I wasn't paying that much attention. I quickly scanned my environment and noticed a guy following me and dipping in and out of the shadows trying not to be noticed. Once I noticed him, he looked startled and stopped following me. I'm not sure what he was planning on doing, but it could have ended poorly. People make pickpockets' livelihood so easy. Just check out how many phones are in people's back pockets, how many handbags dangled by the side, easily accessible. Always put valuables in an inside, preferably zipped pocket. If you're in a notorious pickpocket area like Paris or Naples, you can even carry a fake wallet with Monopoly money in an outside pocket. Ooh, I like that. Some Monopoly money, a get out of jail free card, and a you are welcome note. Just pay attention to your surroundings. Don't have headphones in, and for the love of haram, don't be one of those idiots that's staring at their phone while walking. You're just asking for trouble. Applies to everyone. Keep your mouth shut and listen. Too many people think too much of themselves. Being straightforward calls that's me, or believing it's your right to speak. The more you speak, the more you expose yourself. Don't put yourself out there and BS target. Smart moffers can use your words against you. Sit back and listen. Pay attention to how everyone act and respond. Give out as little info as you can. Protect yourself. Girls, don't be afraid to fight as dirty as you need to. Nut shots, scratching eyes, whatever you have to do, all bets are off. There is absolutely no honor if a guy is trying to grab or detain you or pull you somewhere, so he deserves none. If you are pinned down, smash his head with a headbutt. The part of your skull that's right near your hairline is what you want to impact his face with. Other than that, use your elbow, which will strike harder than your fist might if you are a small person. If you're in an unfamiliar area, take a look around. If you see lots of trash, crappy cars, houses in disrepair, bars over the windows, and no ground level window AC units if it's hot, that's probably not a place you want to be. If you've moved to a new place, scout it out during the daytime, and keep your night tavern to familiar places. Don't wear earbuds or headphones in public. Keep your head on a swivel and be on your toes. Learn about situational awareness. Being in condition white marks you as an easy target. Aimless people are generally up to no good. If you see a person walking around like they don't have a destination, or they are looking around like they don't know what to do with themselves, it means they are planning on jumping someone. They are trying to seem non-threatening while at the same time scouting for victims. They are hoping some poor oblivious person lets them get too close. The best case is they are planning to pickpocket someone. The worst case is a violent mugging. If you see someone like this, don't get near them and definitely don't take your eyes off them. Often just staring at them is enough to discourage them because they are cowards looking for easy prey and they don't want to be identified later. I definitely agree with this, but also sometimes I'm looking aimless like this when I'm walking my dog downtown and my walking buddy goes into a cafe to get us drinks. LOL, I don't know what to do with myself while waiting outside. Keep important stuff in pockets that can be zipped up. Keep all pockets zipped up. Almost impossible for a pickpocket. Don't keep keys in the same pocket as your wallet. If a pickpocket gets both, your driving license will direct them where to break into. Don't let any stranger stop you from walking for any reason. Asking for directions or a simple "excuse me" can sometimes be a way to trap you and mug you. This applies extra hard at train stations and tourist destinations. Pepper spray is cheap and effective. Don't leave home without it. And make sure you buy a practice bottle. You don't want your first time using pepper spray to be under duress. It's cheap enough to burn an entire bottle practicing. Cough, cough, cough. Didn't expect the wind to change. If you ever go to an area and you see that most windows are either gated or boarded up, know there is a reason, and that reason isn't artistic design. Don't walk around looking like you got money. Also, don't have too much money on you at any given time. If you walk around with basic jeans and a hoodie, look like you paid less than $30 for the whole outfit, you'll look like less of a target. When traveling, always try to act like you're local. Learn prices, learn routes, learn behaviors, and when possible try to copy their accent. I do this all the time and it's easier to haggle. You also have less chances of being targeted by local thieves. Accents might be difficult. In the UK, for instance, you have to be a pretty good mimic to speak a local accent well enough to fool the locals. Construction. This can take between 1 and 4 years, depending on the size of the project. Road layers. A major highway is typically 1 layer of gravel followed by 4 layers of asphalt or 2 layers of concrete. Other highways and secondary roads have 3 layers of gravel followed by 2 layers of sprayed bitumen. This can vary according to the type of ground and the expected traffic load. Types of surfaces. Sprayed bitumen is used for areas of lower traffic volumes, less than 5,000 vehicles per day. Asphalt is used on approximately 10% of state-controlled roads. Concrete is used on major highways and motorways. Ha! Street smarts. Well played, sir. Don't let anyone know you have money. Don't trust anyone. Never talk to the police. Always test your drugs. Pay attention to what streets you are on, and if a pimp starts chasing you, you better run lol. If you see a Church's Chicken and a Martin Luther King Boulevard, you should turn back around because you are now in the hood. Don't make eye contact with people you don't want to talk to. Unfortunately, giving a friendly nod can put you in a bad spot these days. Especially if you are a woman. Eyes forward, resting B face. And if someone keeps trying to move into your line of sight, get up and walk away. If you have the don't talk to me look on your face and they try to get your attention, they are up to no good. If you are in a city like mine, get a bicycle. I was in a lot of situations where being on a bike saved me from sketchy situations. Also, as a lot of people said, be aware of your surroundings. If something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. If a stranger approaches you and you get an off vibe, trust your intuition and get the heck away from them as coolly as you can. Mind your own business and pay attention to surroundings. And always trust your gut. Don't flaunt your cash. IDK, I've forgotten most of my tips. I used to be more street smart when I was younger than I am nowadays. Don't be somewhere you don't have any business. If you find yourself somewhere you don't have any business, get the frick out ASAP. Otherwise, trust your gut, keep your head up, and walk like you know where you are going. Street smarts is all about trusting your instincts and minding your business. You follow those 2 rules, you'll be okay. If someone tries to grab your phone or your purse, let them. If someone threatens you with a weapon and demands your wallet, give IT to them. Trying to get in a physical altercation with someone over your stuff is not going to end well for you. People die that way. Even if the thief didn't intend to kill you, they could land a single punch that could be your undoing. Wallets, phones and credit cards can be replaced. Your life can't. Just let them have your stuff. Get to a safe location and call the police. If someone comes up to you initiating conversation, likely to ask for cash, don't be rude about it. Pee them off can make the situation much worse. Have a support group, friends you can rely on. When I was a kid, I basically grew up on the streets, absorbing whatever I could from my friends and experiences. I didn't have my mom home, so there was no other option for me but spending time with my friends outside. Well, at least before everyone bought PCs and consoles and stopped going out. Having a group of friends really helps. Pretty much everyone had 2 arch enemies back in my child days. This one dude who was stealing crap while we weren't looking, and a group of guys who were real buttholes to everyone. We ran into the group of buttholes pretty much daily, but because we had the numbers, we managed to scare them off. They were attacking only guys who were alone, always in groups, so even walking through my district without our group was a trap, as they were outside daily, waiting to beat someone up. The dude who was stealing crap was a different story. He stole bikes, he stole phones, wallets, whatever he could get his hands on and get some money out of. One day, we were playing hockey ball, and this dude ran up to our bikes out of nowhere, stole my bike, and escaped. We all took out our phones, made a couple of calls, and found out that he was on his way to pawn it, sell it to a scrapyard. We split into groups and went to look for him to beat the living frick out of him with our hockey sticks. As soon as the word that we were planning to permanently make him paralyzed waist down, either in group or everyone on his own, He found me and gave me my bike back, apologizing constantly. He never stole anything from us again. We never really had much evidence, but that day he fricked up when about 20 people saw him escaping on my bike. Don't commit to fights. It should be the last resort. Even if you win, the risks are great. You can de-escalate loads of situations. Be like an onion. Your first layer should be not attracting attention. The second layer, and act like you belong, humor on a level to get the other party to think of you as one of their own. Third layer is making up your exit plan. Fourth layer is your last and is about self-preservation. Don't judge and confront. Set up boundaries and back away. Loads of people don't want to hurt you if you set up a rapport with them. Always get your illegal crap tested. Don't say nothing to police. Situational awareness is key. And know your limits. You might think you know some stuff, but locals can help you. I remember vividly in New Orleans about people saying I shouldn't cross the street because the next neighborhood was trouble. I didn't. As much as it went against my ethics, I did not went there. And I did some crazy crap in New Orleans. Locals are always great sources of information. If you can befriend a person at a bar, a gifted drink is an easy way to get some good info and safety lessons for the neighborhood. Last piece of advice. If you move through rougher neighborhoods, when it's sunlight and safe, greet the elderly homeowners. Perhaps have a little talk if they are open to it. Engage a bit. It can earn you kudos. Friend of mine had a long and lovely talk with an elderly lady. Later that night he was stopped by 3 dudes. It happened to be in front of that woman's house. She came out, looked at them, and they dispersed. Don't normalize unacceptable behaviors to avoid confrontation. If something makes you uncomfortable, acknowledge the problem, preferably loudly, and disengage as soon as possible. Ignoring something and hoping it goes away will only make the aggressor more confident. Look back once in a while. If your shadow is in front of you, make sure it's only your shadow. If there's a car parked on the side of the road and your street doesn't have sidewalks, walk a bit far from the car just in case someone opens the door and snatch you. Make it a habit to lock your car as soon as you get in. It only takes a second for someone to yank open the door and grab a bag you might have sitting on the seat while you're fiddling with the radio. If timing around in a sketchy street, especially at night when not many people are around, always stay on guard. If you are wearing a backpack, then hold the straps. Be ready to turn around and punch someone in the face from every direction. If you do get to the point where you are getting mugged, then just give them what they want but throw it away. Chances are they want your wallet more than your life, so they'll go and grab it and give you time to escape. BTW, if you are on the same street but a female or male, I won't judge. Do not wear high heels. That's gonna compromise your running speed and potentially get you hurt or even killed in a certain situation. Don't keep your hands very preoccupied while walking in case some crap goes down. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.